Hi everybody, welcome back to Game On. My name is Justin and this is Matt.
I'm still Matt.
Today Matt has something very interesting to bring to the table, so to speak.
He might be overselling that, but I'll try my best.
We are going to be talking about...
By way of explanation, again, while I was working on plot writing for, again, the Cyberpunk game that I talked about a couple of times, an idea occurred to me that some of these games that I read through and we love and have played in the past, some of them seem related in some ways, or how they might be related in some ways, and particularly chronologically. And what I'm talking about is not games that have chronological incremental components, like, you know, Call of Cthulhu has like the Gaslight version versus the regular version, which is, and they even have like a further future-ish one, I think. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about games that were written as standalone environments and universes that could somehow be dovetailed together, not to be run at the same time, but run chronologically or sequentially. And the thing that jumped out at me is in dealing with the backstory for Cyberpunk. You know, there's a certain post-apocalyptic element to it, right? There's in the backstory to Cyberpunk, there's a collapse of society that involved some war, limited nuclear, chemical and biological, just things that led to the fracturization or deterioration of society, and then the cyberpunk sort of corporations ruling over everyone and supplanting nation states was kind of an offshoot of that. Well, so there are post-apocalyptic and apocalyptic gaming environments. And the one that jumped out in mind for me was actually another one that I've talked about somewhat recently, which was Twilight 2000, right? Which is World War III scenario. It seems to me that Twilight 2000 could be run as a prequel to Cyberpunk.
Okay.
And then you had raised the point about how a prior iteration of, was it Traveler?
Traveler, yes. Traveler 2300 AD is written to take place after Twilight 2000.
Okay.
As, humanity explores the solar system, gets away from the broken remains of the Earth that we started in Twilight 2000.
Gotcha. Which is a common theme in a lot of science fiction, so it makes perfect sense that somebody would use that as a springboard for, a future space exploration expansion type game.
Yeah.
But that got me to thinking, as the idea of the Twilight 2000 leading into Cyberpunk and then I guess eventually into Traveler, there must be other game potential for games to be run sort of sequentially like that. And could you, if you were just tremendously ambitious, could you run a game in one sort of prequel universe that then led into another campaign or series of games that you could run that were kind of in the same timeline? Not necessarily the same system, although I guess you could convert if you wanted to, but I just mean narratively.
Okay.
And I feel like there is. I feel like there must be potential for that.
Are we taking the already established canon and using that as like how we're propelling the story forward, or is this all homebrew?
I mean, my first thought was try to pick canon that are compatible, or at least mostly compatible. You'd probably have to tweak some things in terms of, especially the second and third iterations of it, so that their timelines were tweaked, or their backstory was tweaked to be to dovetail more efficiently to the previous game. But I feel like there's not too much. If you choose wisely, there wouldn't necessarily have to be too much abridgment of canonical material, right?
Okay.
And it just started me thinking, and I was trying to like imagine what games would work with what other games, you know?
I think you can take Call of Cthulhu, and then you can take the add-on to Traveler, which is Chthonian Stars, which is the Call of Cthulhu universe but in space, with using Mongoose First Edition Traveler rules. I mean, all the great old one Lovecraftian lore you can just use for both of those games.
Sure, and I guess when two different games are based on the same source material, obviously that makes it the easiest possible. Yeah. I would think that a game like Dark Conspiracy could easily drop in between those two, what you're talking about, right? Because it's a contemporary game, like late 20th, early 21st century time setting. So you could put that between classic Call of Cthulhu and then sort of the Traveler adaptation of that, and it would sit in the timeline pretty well. And again, because of the otherworldliness element of Dark Conspiracy and sort of the secretive supernatural / alien / you don't really know what horrors await you kind of thing, could easily fit in that narrative without too much trouble. Or at least you could imprint it with Lovecraftian mythos. Would fit over the top of that, reskinned without messing with the
So there's one idea I've had kicking in my head for a little bit, and that was to blatantly copy Disney.
Disney? No. All right, that wasn't expecting that necessarily. Okay, Disney.
The way that they handled the Infinity Wars.
Oh, the Marvel stuff. Okay, okay. When you said Disney, I was like, what are we talking about? But so the
Aladdin,
the Disney properties.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I really like the idea of everybody comes together at a table and they kind of discuss the idea of the major plot of the story, but then each and every person game masters a small part of the story that gets put in, like, you know, the Infinity Wars is obviously Thanos coming and trying to wipe out, but you know, there was Captain America, the first Avenger, there was the first Iron Man. So having little spotlight stories that all the players get to kind of make this story together in an episodic fashion.
Okay, so everybody at the table takes a turn running a chapter in an overarching sort of multi-campaign.
I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be very cool, and I don't know that I've ever had that thought. Like, but like you said, with the Marvel universe, like all the major characters have their own standalone movie.
Yeah, and they all have different directors and everything.
Different vibe, different feel.
Yeah.
But then they all kind of are compatible to a greater or less extent. I mean, there's nothing that's incompatible in any of those movies. Some of them have more to do with the overarching story arc than others.
Yeah.
But they all at least work within the framework.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. All right. And so are you envisioning this as a like little mini sub-adventures, you know, a few episodes with each GM in the spotlight, and then you rotate through, and then somebody else takes over for a few episodes?
Yeah, probably. Because, I mean, if you had, 5-6 people at the table, if everybody did 2 or 3, that's 18 to 24 sessions.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a legit campaign.
That's a campaign.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing is that everybody would kind of know how the story it was gonna possibly end or unfold because everybody helped write the story. But at the same time, there's still things that can be added that.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, if whoever was picking up the baton on the second half of the go round, right, building up to like the grand finale, that person could keep it secret from the others about how this is all. I mean, everybody would kind of know in a broad sense where the direction of the campaign was leading to.
Yeah.
But how it might be resolved and what the actual dramatic sort of fulcrum is. I mean that you I guess you would leave your quote unquote best GM for last, right? Like the person who everybody felt like, oh, this is the anchor on our relay. This is the person who's bringing it home. Yeah, wow. I'm actually surprised that never occurred to me to do something like that before. But
I think it'd be fun.
I think that would be amazing. But I also think No, I take it back. I was going to say you'd need a bunch of experienced gamers, but wouldn't that be a cool way for somebody to get their first shot at GMing?
Yeah.
Is to be sort of nestled into a sequence of games, right? So if somebody was a novice GM, you wouldn't necessarily want them to do the first episode, and you definitely wouldn't want them to do the last episode. But you could tuck them in the middle legs of that, and they could learn.
Yeah.
But within a sort of a nurturing structure. That's actually a really cool idea. That's a better idea than my sort of sequential gaming systems thing. Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I think that's awesome. It's ambitious, and you would need a bunch of people who were
committed,
who were game.
Yeah.
But
I think what system it would be in, that you'd all have to kind of really come together and put your heads together for that.
Yeah, but I mean, it could theoretically work in almost any system as long any system that is compatible with an intricate storyline campaign.
Yeah,
you could really do it any old way. I'm curious to see if any of you guys have ever done anything like that, where you've threaded together different gaming systems to and see if that kind of thing is something you've tried. Is it work? Did it not work?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
And I'd really like to know if anybody has ever tried what Justin is talking about, because that's cool.
Man. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. Bring it home. Yeah.
I'm the anchor.
By all means. Tell us in the comments if any of this stuff has ever occurred to you guys, if you tried it, how it worked out, if you think we're crazy for even contemplating it. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.
Thanks as always.
I'm Justin.
I'm still Matt.
And game on.
Game on, guys.